my friends, my family, onlookers. Welcome to the Chaotic Kitchen. If you are new here, my name is Nikki. Today I'm going to be your neighborhood dabbler and we're going to be doing a little 1-2. So get your notepads, get your note app, and get everything that you need to take notes because we're going to get started here very soon. So y'all, I'm going to be completely transparent with y'all today and let y'all know this is the final episode of Chaotic Kitchen. Unfortunately, Chaotic Kitchen is going to be coming to an end, but stay tuned and subscribe to the channel so you can see what else I have going on. This is only one series of many that I have on this channel, so stay tuned and make sure you turn on the post notifications so that you can keep coming back and knowing what's going on. So y'all, with all of that being said, today we are going to step into our Pasta Me Please bag and we are going to be making our own pasta from scratch. Now, I ain't never done this before, so we're going to be learning together. I am super excited to be making this for the holidays, and I'm pretty sure you will be too. So today we're going to be doing a lobster ravioli. Like I said, I've never made this before, so I might go ahead and do a little shortcut here and there, but nonetheless, I'm going to keep y'all in the know. I know y'all hungry and I am starved. So let's go ahead and get started. But first, I need y'all to do a couple things for me. Just because the Chaotic Kitchen is going don't mean we're going to lose the recipes, okay? First and foremost, I need you to like this video. Second, comment below. Third, subscribe to the channel. Fourth, subscribe to Bacon Corner with Mickey. Fifth, I need you to follow my baking page on Instagram. And then number 6, I need you to follow my Instagram and my TikTok just because. Just because the Chaotic Kitchen is closing does not mean it's going to stop my flow. I am still going to be posting on my channel, you guys, and I really want y'all to tap in. So once again, make sure that you are tuning in, subscribing, and then also see what I got going on outside of the kitchen because that might give you a couple of clues on what I'm doing in the kitchen, okay? Okay, y'all, it's time to get down to business. Are y'all ready? You sure? You positive? Okay, let's go! So y'all, I'm gonna start out by cleaning my lobster. Of course, you don't have to do this, but I'm a little extra, so I decided to go in with a clean toothbrush that I never used before, and I'm just going to like wipe it down. I'm also going to drop them in some water. I'm gonna put some salt and some vinegar in this bowl, and I sit them in here for about 15 minutes. Just let them sit and chill, just so that any other varmints or anything that ain't meant to be in my body, it is removed. Like I said, you don't have to do this step, but it just makes me feel a little bit better and safer about the food that I'm eating, just knowing that I cleaned it to the best of my ability. So once I let them sit for a little bit, I went ahead and rinsed them off again, and then we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Now, I have never done anything with lobster tails before. I usually just eat them in restaurants or but I have never done this before, so we're learning together once again. To cut the lobster tail open, I cut it down the middle on the bottom side, and then I am going to gently try my best to finagle the meat out of the shell. Now this one it's terrible. Like it looks like it's not worth it, but I'm pretty sure it tastes the same as the one that came out whole. You could also use a spoon to kind of dig like the sides, I guess, and it helps it come out a little smoother, but just be gentle, take your time, don't rush it, and it'll come out a whole lot better than this, I promise. So I patted these things dry, and then I went ahead and seasoned them. I am going to cook them in a butter bath, and I did this on a low heat. I had my butter melting as I was seasoning and as I was cleaning my lobster tails, and then once I seasoned them, which you don't have to do once again, but I just did because I want them to be flavorful, it was time to go ahead and put it in the butter bath. To this bath, I added a little bit of seasoning, and then I also added some garlic for an added flavor. I'm just going to drop them in here, and I let them cook on a low heat for probably about 10 minutes or so. I will say just keep an eye on it. It's not like it's gonna burn or anything, especially since it's only gonna be on like a 3 or lower. But you can definitely tell that it's starting to cook when it changes colors, and then it's also gonna curl up and maybe shrink a little. But I flipped it on the other side, cooked it for the same amount of time on both sides, and then here we are with the finished product. I use this technique to cook them because I felt like it was going to give them a nice rich flavor. And then also, who doesn't like butter? Of course, I'm gonna be using butter in my recipe, so I felt like it was just an additive. And of course, it cooked nice and fluffy, and it was the perfect texture for my pasta dish. So once my lobsters were done cooking, I chopped them up into little bite-sized pieces. I want them all to be like different sizes, but I don't want them to be like too small. Next, I'm going to go ahead and start on my sauce. So I decided to use onion. If you know, I don't really be eating onion like that, but I'll do a little onion in a sauce. So I chopped up a little bit of onion. I'm going to use that butter that I used to cook my lobster tail, and I'm going to just take a smidget of that, place it in my pan, and I'm going to use that to cook my onion. And I'm also going to add a little bit of minced garlic in here as well. Now, usually when you're making a pasta sauce, you're going to use butter as the base. So I'm going to use that butter that I used to cook my lobster in. But as you see, it's a little clumpy, it's got some bits in it. So I'm going to clean it out as best as I can. I put a coffee filter in a strainer, and then I just moved the butter around so that it could steep as clear as possible. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to add it to my pan once my veggies have cooked. As you can see, it wasn't 100% purified, but that's good enough. I did about a fourth of chicken stock and a fourth of heavy cream, and then I'm going to mix these in with my seasonings. If you've been here before, you already know I do not be measuring sometimes. Well, most of the time I don't be measuring, but if you need an equivalent measurement, make sure you check out the link in my bio that has the recipe to this and other videos on my channel. It may not be how Mickey made it, but it'll be close enough, and I promise you, your dish will be the talk of the table at these holiday gatherings. So I'm gonna let my sauce simmer for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to take my bay leaf out. Y'all, I did not take my bay leaf out before I added my cheese. Don't do as I do as I would say. Because I know I would hate to be going to town on some lobster, whatever this dish finna be, and I eat a doggone bay leaf. I'm throwing the whole plate away. I'm sorry. I'm gonna add a little bit of this lobster just to let that flavor kick in, and then I'm gonna move on to my next step, but not before I give it a taste. I gotta make sure that it tastes how I want and it has all the seasonings as prevalent as I need them to be. All right, so this is supposed to be ravioli, right? So let's go ahead and make our ravioli filling. I did 4 tablespoons of ricotta. I went in with some of those dried chives, some black pepper, and I'm also going to do a little bit of Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of lemon juice. Once again, if you need the exact measurements for this recipe, make sure that you get the recipe at the link in my bio. But if you like me and you can just eyeball it, hey, eyeball away, baby. We throw a little bit of minced garlic in here, and then we're going to give it a good stir. I'm also going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese in here. And, just gauge how you feel it needs to be. Like, if you feel like it needs to be thick, add more ricotta. If you don't, it's cool. So, y'all, I ain't even gonna hold you. This is where I fucked up at. I've never made pasta before from scratch, so this was my first time, and I just wanted to try something for the season finale of the Chaotic Kitchen. It did not go well, y'all. I wasted so many ingredients, and I ain't gonna lie, I wasted so much time. So I tried to make this, and yeah, there's no explanation needed. I really just kind of, yeah. To this day, I cannot pinpoint what actually went wrong, but I know I did it. I did it twice, and I came with the same results both times, like just a crumbly mess. So I don't know if I will ever be attempting to make pasta again. I might need an actual pasta connoisseur to kind of walk me through it, like standing right beside me telling me. And I even did it differently this time. I used 2 eggs instead of 3. Baby, it didn't go right. It's okay. I wasted products and time, but we're going to move on with an alternative. Amen. So I just happen to have some cavatappi on hand. I think that's how you say it. That's how I'm going to say it. I had to quickly reroute and try to think of an alternative because I'm not finna let none of this stuff go to waste. Like, point blank period. I'm like, yeah, I done made this sauce. I done made this lobster. So we're gonna have to make something work. So I'm like, boom, let's just do a lobster mac and cheese. Everybody loves lobster mac and cheese. I love lobster mac and cheese. I love mac and cheese, period. But lobster in it, yeah, let's do it. So to my sauce, I'm gonna add more heavy cream. This is going to be my roux, if you will, and it's going to be like the cheese sauce for my mac and cheese. I'm adding these seasonings and then I'm going to give it a good stir. I'm going to let it simmer for a little bit, and then I'm going to add in my cheese. Boiling noodles takes about 12 minutes, give or take. It depends on how you like your noodles. I want them all the way squishy. Like I should be able to just literally pinch them between my fingers and it damn near disintegrate. So once I see that my sauce is simmering, it has changed color a tad bit, I'm going to go ahead and add in my white cheddar and my Parmesan cheese. As a cheese connoisseur, as I like to believe that I am, I feel like these are probably the best options because it fits the flavor profile for the lobster. It's not too strong, but it's strong enough to let you know what you're eating. Like this is mac and cheese, and mac and cheese of a high caliber, might I add. This ain't your auntie's mac, baby. You gonna take this dish to places where you actually like the people that's eating it. You know what I'm saying? Once I see that I have a strong enough cheese pool in my sauce, I'm going to go ahead and add that filling into the pot with my noodles. And then I'm going to add my sauce. This is going to create the perfect base for my mac and cheese, and it's going to be exquisite. Like, I can just tell by the pour of that sauce into this pan, I could just tell. I could just tell. And you know when you know. You can add as little or as much as you want, but I like it to be nice and creamy on the inside. So I'm gonna do enough to make sure all my noodles are covered, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my pan so that I can bake this goodness. And if you're impatient, you can even eat it just how it is like that. But I like a baked mac. But nonetheless, I'm going to top these with some seasoned breadcrumbs, and I'm also going to put more cheese on the top of it because you can't have baked mac without a nice crusty top on it, boo. This doggone breadcrumb top, I ain't gonna lie, that really was the cherry on top, no pun intended. Like it really set the whole thing off. And then you got some paprika. You can't have a baked mac without a paprika sprinkle, honey. Maybe that's just the southern gal in me, but babe, I think all of those are necessary when you doing baked macaroni and cheese. Y'all can tell me what y'all think in the comments though. Cause if I do nothing else, baby, I'm gonna come to deliver. Capital D. What do you think about this dish, honey? It's sizzling hot out the oven and she was ready to eat. I don't know. Maybe that was just me hearing stuff, but I'm pretty sure she was saying, like, just taste me, just eat me. And guess what I did? Ate it right on up, put it right on up in a bowl, and savored every bite on the way down, babe. Cause I think y'all think I be trying to sell y'all a dream, but when I tell y'all I'm trying to set y'all up for success. If you don't take no other advice that I give you, please go get this recipe. Please, because you're gonna need it for these outings. It is the holiday season once again. Please don't leave the house without making this. The only other thing I'm gonna say is make sure you make enough. And make sure you put some to the side too. Well, y'all, as we wrap up this episode, I do want to give a big thanks to everyone who has supported the Chaotic Kitchen in this past year. Y'all have been the motivation that I needed to keep going. So I appreciate you. Make sure that you continue to like, show love to the videos, and stay subscribed to the channel because, baby, I got some stuff coming up that you ain't gonna want to miss. I'll see y'all next week.